Hello everyone and welcome to bitparade.co.uk's look at Etrian Odyssey 2 Untold, the Fafnir Knight, not entirely sure. Every time I try and record this video I've pronounced it a different way. So I'm fairly far into the game, 27 hours I think it says. If you don't know what Etrian Odyssey is, they're dungeon crawlers, and if you want to know what the Etrian Odyssey Untold games are, so the original ones are DS games, the Untold ones are 3DS games that go back, and the original games didn't have a story, so they go back in and add a story, and they sort of pretty up the game a little bit, or quite a lot. I think it's quite a nice looking game considering. I don't know, having never played the original games, I don't know how much is different after that. So we're in the inn there where I can heal characters, rest, and get all my magic points, or TP as it's called. But stuff like, if you go to the trading area, if I sell items, then I think I've sold all my items, so I don't think I can do this. Then, yeah, I've sold everything. Then it will, if it's a new item, it will unlock. So if, say, I get a boar skin or something like that, boar skin, then that will unlock maybe a new weapon that uses that, or some armor, or a hat, or something. A hood, maybe, a hood made out of boar skin. This I think might be new. It's called, so this is like we were tasked, one of the quests we got was to run a government run or cafe or restaurant. So I've called it Etrian, basically, it's a pun on Etrian. It's very clever. And it's stuff here, so we can develop dishes, which, yeah. But if we use one, so I use the coffee, because I like coffee, but also, you might be able to just make out on the bottom screen, walk to recover HP, so I get health back as I'm walking around the labyrinth. There's other ones like, that raises the max TP, which is your magic points. This one, recover HP each turn. Action speed, grimoire chance, which are these stones that give you, if I go into this, the guild house, where you can store items, we can manage guild cards. I haven't really looked at that. Grimoire stones, where I can equip. And so if we look at my character Gatsu, he's got a double attack, which I could do with a better version of that, because in theory that's a great move. He gets to attack again. It doesn't happen very often though, but I've raised his skill points, if you like, his magic points, TP, and his elemental attack, which is something that's going to become more. But it's true, other characters as well. So for example, Flavio, again, TP up, and he's got a bonus where he gets recover HP at the end of battle. Bow mastery, because he uses a bow, raises his attacks. And because he's already got that skill, it gives a bonus to that. And fire formula, which is you can equip skills from other people using these stones. So if I go back onto that actually. So just to quickly say, I've unlocked 3 here. You actually only start off with 1, and you unlock more as you level up. So level 10 gets you a second slot, and I'm 27, so maybe level 20 got me a third, and I've only just equipped them. But yeah, so then you can trade and recycle, but generally you find something you want, and then you just, I've rarely gone back in, and I've rarely messed with it, but there's a few enemies where having someone else with fire skill would be quite useful, or at least a magic skill like that, because I've only got one character. Gatsu is the only one who had that, and his does physical damage, and that a particular enemy, if you hit them with a physical attack, they become more powerful. So I didn't want to use his, but they're weak to magic, or like fire elemental stuff, so I gave at least one person a sort of normal magic attack. And yeah, so I added a second person as well for if I ever go back and fight those people again. You don't have to have these set characters. You get the choice at the start of the game. I've gone with the set one with the story. You can play it like the old one, which would mean you could maybe have a character who has loads and loads of magic, like just spells and traditional RPG type stuff. Town development, we can't go in because I have some advertising on the go. But yeah, you can level up towns, and so you get more people coming to a restaurant, which in theory makes you more money. It's sort of loosely tied to, you get asked to do it. I don't think much of it. It's sort of pointless, and it's sort of a bit tedious. You have to spend your own money. I don't really like this trend in RPGs of putting this in. Bravely Default I thought did it okay, but then by a certain point I'd maxed out that very, very early, well before I finished Bravely Default. Not that I ever finished Bravely Default, but the bar is where you pick up jobs and stuff. Explorer's Guild, you better go in. Duke's Palace, you there's a that's where you get your main quests, I guess. So we'll go into the labyrinth. So this is enter. I can't pronounce that. Is the sort of main story area-ish. It's where you're ultimately aiming for, but you can only make progress in there by going into the labyrinth. I'm in the second stratum, and yeah, it's more powerful. Sorry, more difficult and stuff. But we're in the Auburn area, whereas the other one's sort of greener. This is more orange. I don't know how pretty this is going to look, but on the screen. But I like the look of it on the 3DS screen. So. So the game, if I go back this way, you fill in a map on the bottom screen, which is initially, you can sort of set it to auto do it. You need to go into the options to do the best. I'd suggest setting it to autofill, because that way it will at least do the walls. It won't do things like, if I zoom in here, this left-right arrow that I'm pointing at now, let's say that I'm pointing at there. Which is, as you're walking along, you'll see in the top right corner of your screen, you can see it say check. You can pass through the wall. It's like shortcuts to areas. You have to find the right way in first, then you can use it both ways. So usually it's get to the end of the level, and then you can go back to the start. This hand here, I've used because it symbolises take, which is once a day, you can find ingredients and things. So we're gonna use that. The moving arrows here, are things called foes. Now we'll take a look at one. Oh, I've dropped the pointer. Oh no. So we'll go back through. Well, we're gonna get into a fight anyway. They're basically, you see, I've just been attacked in a random battle. The foes are big enough to see on the screen, and they're more powerful. I'm at the point where I can take on most of them. Some of them very, very easily. But we are, so Grimoire Chance, I don't know if you can see that on the screen. It means I'm going to get I may not, but I'll probably get a stone. Unfortunately for him, it's probably going to be a front guard. I've got loads of front guards. But yeah, let's use some skills. So I'm going to use Flank Shot, but you see down here, Fire Formula is the Grimoire that I gave him, so he has that bonus. And so there's loads of skills and stuff. But yeah, we will just attack with everyone. And I'm sure there was a way to kind of auto do this in the first game. I can't find it on this one. Maybe I've just forgotten how to do it. But yeah, so you kind of always take damage, which is a bit frustrating. You don't always take damage, but you know, at no point have I sort of found that. Certainly in the second stratum that I'm walking through without taking any damage, which is why I keep the perk where I heal as I walk, because I'm not taking loads of damage, but if I get enough damage I can heal. It's not a problem. I've got enough ways of healing. So I've got items for the eatery, items to sell, experience on the right hand side, obviously. So we'll go back through and we'll get one of these. We'll get the other take. I'll show you a. So there you go. Now you can get skills that let you do a second day. Now I'm gonna. There you go. You see that? So that's a foe, but I'm not gonna fight that one. So it'll be a very long and drawn out battle. What you can do is once you've got through a level, you can start jumping to the end of it. So you don't have to spend loads of time just going through the same thing over and over and over. The same here as well. I could do the same. But yeah, this might be a better area to take on a foe, possibly. Not too sure. These can be fairly tough as well. But it's been a while since I fought one of these, so we'll. Oh, I like these enemies. So these Fang Vines, I like them because of the animation on them. That when you hit them, they do that, sort of like the vines sort of like react. So I'm glad they've done that to me, because that mark on Ariana means that she's more likely to miss. She's been blinded. And so if you fight these guys, they're really weak. They don't do a lot of damage. But that move they do can hit right across your party and make it so you can't hit the stronger enemy, which is doing, if they're in with a stronger enemy, which is doing a lot of damage to you. So we'll get these as well. This is chopped stuff. So I kind of want to fight this, but we will. Now you see on there, these guys spit fire. So I've triggered it, and I'm going to back off. And he's now not doing anything but the ground's on fire. So we will fight this guy, but what I'm going to quickly do is, if I go to, so here I can equip items, I can check on stuff, skills, items, all that sort of stuff. But I'm going to go to custom, because I have leveled up a few times and not gone into here. So I thought I'd save it until you were here, until you people were here. I can spend the points at the top, the skill points right next to the picture up here. Spend them on, so I can raise his physical attack, his TP. I don't really know what I need to do with him. I've not bothered with any of this stuff because, like I say, you fill up your items very, very quickly. Lowers physical defense of one enemy for 3 turns. Sure, why not? That seems fairly useful. Force mastery. Okay. And what else should we do? Blade mastery. He's these moves. So some of the stuff you end up picking because. Alright, let's do freeze saber because we've not. Also, I think these enemies might be weak to ice. So some of it you end up picking because. So overkiller, melee cut enemy to melee cut attack to one enemy. If KO'd, hits all enemies, so it does splash damage. Takes 8 points. And so that's not bad. But sometimes you end up picking stuff you don't want to get to a thing that isn't less useful for him, but get to something that is more worthwhile. So so prevent order negates ailments once for one ally line for 3 turns. That's okay, I guess. But I think, yeah, a good example is one of these I wasn't too fussed about, but I wanted the Dauntless Order or the Protect Order or something. Yeah, I think it's this. So restores HP for one ally line at end of turn for 3 turns. But I needed to get Holy Crown, which raises effective healing skills for one ally for 3 turns, which I haven't used. I've not needed to use it. So we're gonna raise her TP again, and then we've now unlocked some skills. So this lowers fire damage to party and raises fire damage to enemy this turn. Seems fairly useful given what we're about to fight. Although from memory it doesn't seem to do a huge amount of fire damage, but so let's make it so she doesn't get poisoned enough, or poisoned so much anymore. Let's get into a fight because I don't want to. Let's not spend too long on the sort of minutiae. Let's show some fights. So these guys aren't particularly big because there is a full size one. There's only one of them, and I haven't dared fight it yet. So what we've got. So these guys, if I press right shoulder button, I've already fought them. They're strong to fire. They're weak to ice. So with good old Gatsu here, let's go to freeze saber. Raise his attack, or raise all the party's attack. We will do a file. No, we won't. We'll just attack with him this turn. He can attack. One of her skills is something called Warm Light, which raises one ally's physical and elemental attack for 3 turns. So let's do that for Gatsu. So if the 2 girls attack or use their turn before Gatsu does, he's going to do a lot of damage. So only one of them did, unfortunately. But we'll do the same again. No, here's what we're going to do. We're going to use the force. Now you might not be able to see it, but underneath escape there's a force meter. They probably all full, but I can transform with him. He becomes more powerful, his health shoots up. And he just generally becomes more powerful. So I'm going to use Freeze Saber with him now. She can just attack. He can attack. And he can attack, and we're going to use a move called Artery with her, which means she takes, everyone gets healed after taking a turn. It's a really useful move, I like it. So, So we're going to have to heal both of those two as well this turn. So, free saber again. Attack, attack, attack. Skills. War, heal, line, and do this, which means they heal and then they get healed at the end of the turn as well. But they also heal as they've got a move. So, really I should be using a move with Bertrand that raises everyone's attack, raises everyone's defense or immunity to fire or something. Now, I'm on my last, if I see that, transform 1, I'm on my last turn with him in this super move, so I'm going to use a very powerful move called Meteor Attack. And yeah, and then we're going to start using front guard and attack. Actually, let's force with him as well. So his moves aren't as good. No one else is quite as good. But I'll show you something with Chloe in a minute. So I don't know how much longer I've got left on this video, so we might not see the end of this fight. But I just did a huge amount of damage there. But we're back to normal in terms of our strength and stuff. So let me show you Ariana's force, victory vow, which just raises the orders affect the entire party rather than just the row. It's fairly useful. And TP cost of orders is half, again fairly useful. Her other move, once you have the force meter on, once you're in force mode, she can restore the hit points and TP, tactical points or whatever, technical points of the party. However, doesn't completely fill them, but you can only do that once per rest turn if you like, so you need to go back to the inn and sleep, otherwise you'll never be able to use force again. So you won't ever, the force meter just won't show up for it if you do that. Everyone's got a move like that, where they can't do anything else. So once they've done that move, so it's kind of an all or nothing thing. Most of them aren't all that useful. Again, you might be able to, if you're picking your own characters rather than doing the story stuff, you might find more use for it. So we're gonna just keep doing this. We might have enough time to do this. So let's use protect order, and it's just attack and skills and warm light to raise his elemental defense. And yeah, so this is kind of Etrian Odyssey. I'm sure there's more stuff that I haven't shown you. Like I say, I'm fairly far in. I will have a review up, possibly before the video goes up. I'm not too sure, but if not, it'll be within the next couple of days. I really, really like it. I loved the first game. I'm loving this. It's like I say, it's a fantastic game. Yeah, let's okay. Raise everyone's health. So yeah, I kind of have settled on a score, but I haven't written the review yet, so it's not fair to give it. But yeah, I voted the first Etrian Odyssey Untold in my game of the year the other year. So this one will, I don't know if it will necessarily be in there, but that's the sort of standard. I think this is a better game personally. It's just more of the same, which is a bit of a problem. But you know, so be it. What else are you going to do? But yeah, it is a little familiar, I guess, is the criticism. You can see now that it's slumped down. It's nearly dead. We can beat it quite easily. That's the other thing I was going to put in the review as well. It's a game of tipping points. So you all of a sudden become very, very powerful, or not very, very powerful, but stuff you were struggling with, you're no longer struggling with. And that's kind of what the game is. Very familiar, but at the same time, good fun, and it starts off very hard and then becomes a lot less hard even. So we're going to steal a grimoire from the enemy, I think. So I could use an enemy move, but yeah. So that's Etrian Odyssey Untold 2. Come and visit us at bitparade.co.uk. I should link the review into this YouTube video. But yeah, it's just come out in the UK, or in Europe, I should say. I don't know about, I assume it's out in Japan. I assume it's out in America as well, so we usually get these years after everyone else. But yeah, fantastic game that it is. Or just be that thing. There we go. I got a fiery chip. I got all these grimoires. Look at all this. Most of them are useless. And yeah. So there you go. Thanks for watching.